So Jason and I are on our way to an ultrasound appointment for the baby. I am 28 weeks pregnant, and I thought it was time to finally do a pregnancy update for you guys. We're going to talk about how I'm feeling, my plans for the end of the birth, the preparation that I'm doing, and more. But right now we need to get going to this ultrasound. We came without kids this time. We always bring kids to ultrasounds. Actually, when I was pregnant with Benjamin, it was whenever they were restricting things because of 2020 stuff, and they would not let the kids come in. So that was different. And we did find out his gender, but we didn't have them tell us. We just had them put in an envelope and then got the balloon and the whole 9 yards. I showed you guys that. But anyway, we're here without kids. I don't know why. We just decided to come without them. Maybe because we're tired. They're home. They were playing a game and I don't know. Look at this cute place. This is a new place that we've never been to before. A little toy kitchen. They would like that. Very fancy. Someone else is getting an ultrasound right now. Like, what do we even call it?
Scan.
Scan, that's it. Yeah, so we are waiting our turn, and then we're going to go vote after that because it's voting day today. It's Kreke, right? And Joy. Okay, we are back home from the ultrasound. Everything looked great. So this ultrasound was, I actually haven't had an ultrasound at all yet. I normally don't wait this long. I told you I was 28 weeks, but I realized that I just turned 29 weeks. I normally don't wait this long because we find out the gender of the baby earlier. It has just been so busy the last couple of months that I just haven't, I don't know, I just keep putting off making the appointment because it was one more thing to do. My midwives do like having one ultrasound some point during the pregnancy just so they can have a check of, you know, everything from where the placenta is located to just check on the baby, etc. And so that's what I normally do, just one. And I haven't done it yet, all this time, 29 weeks. So today was the day Jason and I went in alone for the ultrasound. Hi, come in. And everything looked great. The lady said that the baby is super healthy and measuring right on to my due date that I came up with of January 23rd. So that was pretty amazing. Normally your ultrasound and your due date aren't that exact, but she said it was just perfect with the measurements. Everything looked wonderful. Just one happy, healthy baby. So the big thing is that Jason and I, when we talked early on in this pregnancy about finding out the gender like we have with the last many babies, he kind of shared with me that he really hoped for a surprise when the baby was born. And I thought, it's about time to give him what he wants because I've found out, like I said, the last several babies, I found out the gender from an ultrasound ahead of time. So we decided we're going to be surprised this time. So that's why for those of you who are curious and keep asking me what we're having, I don't know. So you'll have to just wait until January to find out along with us. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to finding out at the birth. I have not had that in such a long time. Probably, was it Samuel that we didn't find out? I'm trying to remember here. He's 9. So I know everybody after that we've found out. So it's been at least 9 years since we had a surprise at the birth. So I'm really excited about that. As far as how I've been feeling, I have felt really great. So my first trimester, I felt super, super tired. That was really my main complaint, is just super tired. You know, I'm 41 now, so that's a different experience. I also had a very busy spring with a lot going on. We had guests staying with us for 3 weeks that I, had a lot of activity during that time. And it was right after that that I found out I was pregnant, and we just were still kind of going full steam ahead. And I was so tired. So then easing into my well, actually it was before the second trimester. It was really, it's been probably the last couple months that tiredness went away, and I have really been feeling great. Like, to the point that I kept forgetting that I was pregnant, and I would have to remind myself again. I'd go into my midwife appointment once a month, and they'd do all their questions, and I would be like, no to any problems. I had told them I don't even really feel like I'm pregnant because I just feel so good. So I've kept up with my prenatals. That I actually have a video where I've shared about my prenatals, and I've told you guys this before, but I think the biggest difference for me was when I began taking a methylated B vitamin. I take one in the morning, and that has made a bigger difference for me in my pregnancies than any prenatals that I have taken before. So I think it was just something that my body really needed. And I did that before Benjamin's pregnancy. So I just noticed a huge difference there, with really feeling great through to the end of my pregnancy. And I can link, like I said, actually I think on my Amazon storefront I have a section on prenatal vitamins where I've linked just listed all of the things that I take. So you can go check that out. I'll put that in the description box of this video in case you're interested. I also have kept up with my good iron. That's something that I've struggled with in the past too, is having really low iron. I tend to have kind of anemic tendencies when I'm pregnant. I've been able to keep up with that. I've been doing the Garden of Life raw iron, and I continued it even in between my pregnancies. I kept up with iron and prenatals, and of course my B vitamin, because it just felt like my body, with the amount of children that I've had and then breastfeeding between, that I just needed to keep up that regimen. So I just do that all the time, whether I'm pregnant or not. And since I've started doing that, I've noticed that I'm a lot stronger going into my pregnancies, and I haven't had the issues with the low iron that I used to have in the past. I had blood work done early on in this pregnancy, and everything looked great, including my iron. So I was really happy to see that. What else? I'm starting to have some of those Braxton Hicks, those, practice contractions. That's pretty normal for me around this time. I have about 11 weeks left until my due date, and that's just kind of average of how my body works. Now, if you have been around here for a while, you would have known that my last labor with Benjamin, and he's 18 months old, I had a kind of difficult, the process was kind of difficult. My cervix wouldn't cooperate. That's kind of how I explained it, is it just wasn't dilating the way that it should, which resulted in a more difficult birth. I still was able to have him at home just fine. I have amazing midwives who are very capable, but it was enough. So we noticed a little bit with Lydia, and then more with Benjamin. So that's enough that we've decided to be proactive this time around. During the last month of the pregnancy, I'm going to do evening primrose oil, which you can take orally and as like a suppository, which is supposed to help soften the cervix and help with that labor getting started. So I haven't talked about it in depth with my midwives yet, but from what I'm understanding of the little bit that I've read, for women who haven't had a history of, going overdue, or their body kind of not wanting to go into labor like mine has, it's not something that you'd want to take because it could send you into labor too early, but that is not my problem. I consistently go way overdue. Benjamin was 2 weeks in a day before I went into labor, and then it was this long labor that, that my cervix still wasn't wanting to dilate, and so that's not my issue. So I don't have any qualms with taking that last month. So it will be interesting to see how that makes a difference for me with the last 2 births. I have a lot of peace going into this because, ultimately God is in control. I have total faith in that. I have awesome midwives who are, you know, very connected with what's going on. And I've had enough babies that I can kind of feel in touch with my body and what's going on during that birthing process. And, you know, if we would need to transfer somewhere, I'd have a good connection with a wonderful hospital that's not far away. So there's that if needed, although I don't foresee that being needed. So we have started thinking about names. It's, like I said, everything's a little different this time around because normally I know, am I thinking about girl names or am I thinking about boy names? And so to think about both has been a little different. We've had some discussions back and forth, and I think we've kind of narrowed down to the girl name that we like, but we're still kind of talking through the boy name. So more on that to come as we think that through. I had told you guys early on, I think it was in my pregnancy announcement video, that Elsie had hoped that if it was a girl, we would name her with an E name, because without realizing it, we have 2 of each of our letter names with our kids. So we have Bella and Benjamin, Leo and Lydia, Silas and Samuel, Jeremiah and James. It was completely accidental, but we only have one Elsie. And so we were kind of leaning toward E names, and you guys gave us a lot of amazing suggestions on that video. You know, it's especially important to her if we would have a girl. She would love for it to be an E name, but I like a lot of E boy names too, so it may work out either way. Because I don't know, for some reason this birth I've just been really drawn toward E names in general. So that's kind of helped narrow things down a little bit. I don't know how you moms do it that have a lot of kids with all of one letter. I think it's really cool, but it's just amazing to me that you can keep coming up with these wonderful names. If you have all J's or all M's or whatever it may be. We've always been a little bit more, I don't know, indecisive about our names, I guess. We haven't planned it ahead, you know, in a certain pattern, but patterns have just kind of accidentally happened. When we had our first 5 kids, we didn't realize it, but we had spelled them with, that came out that their initials spelled bless. Bella, Leo, Elsie, Silas, and Samuel. And that was pointed out to us, and we had no idea. And so for a minute there, we thought, oh, should we keep going with this? Should we keep naming them like blessings or bless whatever? And then finally, Jason and I were like, it's just not for us. Every one of our children is unique, and we've just given them a unique name that we felt drawn to for that time. And like I said, even though patterns have accidentally happened, it has never been our plan, because we just are seeing each child as a totally different ballgame. We even accidentally named 2 of our kids with the same initials. That's how much we think about that baby in an isolated way. We have 2 SJKs. So Silas and Samuel actually have, it's Samuel Jacob and Silas Joshua, so they even have the same initials. So anyway, we're not the professional large family baby namers, I suppose, but we enjoy picking out a special name for that special baby. So that's my update. I'm feeling great. I'm excited to see what this baby is. 11 plus more weeks until we get to find out. We are actually taking a family trip with the grandparents for Christmas. We are leaving for Christmas, and we are taking a trip, and we're going to be doing a lot of walking. So that will be interesting, because that will be just 1 month before baby. I guess, yeah, just a couple days shy of 1 month, or a couple days over 1 month, less than, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. And so it will be interesting to see how I do with that much walking that late in the pregnancy. Maybe that'll help too. Maybe all of these things will get the ball rolling, and it'll be a baby that's not 2 weeks overdue. We'll see how that goes. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave any questions for me in the comments, because I was thinking that I probably will just at some point do just a random mom Q&A video. It has been a long time since I've done one of those. So if you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them in the comments below.